the last flex property that we're going to learn. So this is a property for flex items, right? And the last one is flex, and it's a shorthand property. And it's shorthand for flex grow, flex shrink, and flex basis. So super easy, but I got a cool example, 2 of them to show you, just play with it. So we have now learned all of the container properties over here on the left and all of the flex item properties over here on the right. And woohoo, like totally awesome. And then there's more stuff down here if you want to play with their examples and things like that. But this is the main stuff right up here at the top. So let's take a look at flex. I have 2 HTML pages, pretty similar, right? It's this code right down there, 06 flex. And the first one, here's the first one. We have 3 divs, 1 through 3 divs, right? And there's the body. It's a flex container. And then here is the div, and here's just all the formatting to make the div a certain size: width, height, margin, border, background, text align. And we're saying flex 1, 1 auto. So flex grow will be 1, flex shrink will be 1, and flex basis will be auto. So these are going to all 3 grow in proportion to each other. All 3 of those are going to grow in proportion to each other. They're going to shrink in proportion to each other. And the flex basis is 400 pixels since it's auto. So right at 1200 pixels, they'll be the exact same size. And then they'll grow in proportion to each other, and they'll shrink in proportion to each other. So let's take a look at that. Here we go. And the first example, growing and shrinking in proportion to each other. Cool. That's my recording software. And then the next one is, again, really similar, but now we have one with an ID, Wahoo. So these 2 divs, this one and this one, are going to have flex 0, 1 auto. So grow is 0. What happens when grow is 0? We're going to find out. Flex shrink is 1. Flex basis is auto. So basis auto means their width is 400 pixels. Same with this one. Width is 400 pixels, but it's going to shrink 2/3, and this will shrink 1/3 in relation, and then no growing. So when we look at that right here, like, let me just refresh this page because I was playing around with it. So they don't do any growing. Like, those hit 400 pixels, and they said, we don't grow. If we wanted to, we could say, hey, these 2 on the outside should grow. Boom, and they grew. Or I could take that one off, and I could say, okay, this one grows. And this one grew. Or I could say, you know, none of them grow. There we go. So the idea is you set your flex basis. This is the width I want my item to start out at. And if it's not a width that expands, like a unit of measurement that expands like percentage, but if it's a hard unit of measurement, right, then okay, that's my starting point. That's my flex basis. And if I get bigger than that, do I grow? We'll set flex grow. And how much do I grow in relationship to the other items on my row? Flex grow determines that. And from that basis point, do I shrink? And if so, how much do I shrink in relationship to the other items on my row? Flex grow, flex shrink, flex basis. And I think that's it. I just did it. Oh, let's do a grow. Oh, we did grow. Let's do, yeah, that was it. That's what I wanted to show you was the grow part right there. So the width, everything. All right. You can play with these more. Like what happens, you know, just out of curiosity, flex shrink and refresh and then bring it down. Those 2 guys aren't shrinking, right? The 2 divs on the outside are staying the same. And look, even as we get there, they're just like, we don't change size. We don't shrink, right? But the other one does. But then this one here, make it a 1, and then refresh, and now they're all going to shrink some in relationship to each other. And how far can you go? You know, jam it all the way down there, and then for whatever reason it says we don't shrink anymore. All right, that is the flex shorthand property, and it's flex grow, flex shrink, and flex basis.